Okay, chaps, I'm going to try to tie you a wee Irish shrimp style pattern. Now, this is one here is called the lemon shrimp, or otherwise known as the yellow shrimp. The hook in the vise is a size 10 partridge patriot double. The thread that I'm going to start off with is uni thread 801 white. That's to keep the body, the rear body, as bright as we can. So we're just going to come in, get the thread started behind the eye of the hook, knock on a few turns, remove the waist tag. Now the tag at the back and the rib is an oval silver tinsel and small, so that's spooled on. Throw it out. I'm just going to tie this in on the way down. Just let me get it straightened up first. Just going to tie it in underneath the hook shank. He says, pull it in, bring the oval silver tinsel underneath the hook, and then I'm going to just run my thread down, tying this in. I'm going to bring my thread down. Once I let the bobbin go, I'm in line with the point of the hook, and then I'm going to come around with 4 turns of the oval silver tinsel to create the tag, over with a turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure, and then we'll come in and nip away the waist piece. Now the tail on the original pattern would have just been a natural red breast feather off a golden pheasant. I'm going to use a dyed red, just add a wee bit of colour to the fly. You've got the natural, use the natural. Do the same job. Don't need to be going out and spending money and buying all this stuff. Now I'm going to come around with a turn to hold, another turn to secure, come in and fold back the tip. Just bring your thread turns back up over the tip and the hackle. Now, I'm going to bring my thread up out of the way just to give me a bit of room to work. Come in, trim away the tip of the hackle. And then we're just going to fold this back and do one turn in front of the other. Now, see when you're winding these on, the golden pheasant, don't be looking for perfection. Just get it knocked on the hook. And what I mean by that is, don't worry if the fibres catch, because you can come right in and brush them out. I'm going to use up the whole feather, I like a good tail on my flies. I'm going to come right back in, keeping a hold of the stem, follow it around with my thread. Right, just come in and get nice tight turns on. Now I want to keep it underneath, but nice and tight with your turns to secure in your tail. Going up round about the halfway point, keeping your thread tight, you can break away the stem. Then just come in with your an old brush, or you can take the hook out of the vise and fix your tail if you don't have an old toothbrush. Now on the way back down we'll tie in our oval silver tinsel again for a rib. So again, just going to catch it in underneath, and then run your thread down tight up against your tail. And it's a good wee fly is for dull days. You get the river, nice and overcast. Good wee fly to have in your box. Now the body, I'm going to use the Genuine Seals Fur dispenser box number 2. I'm going to use this bright yellow. So this is Genuine Seals Fur that I'm using. Let me get my needle. I'm all over the shop here. Now, just take a bit of the seals fur out. You'll see the colour better in a minute. Show it to the camera. That's it there. It's nice and bright. Nice bright stuff. We're going to dub this on. So just take a pinch. We'll dub that on. Always remember taking your dubbing the one way. Don't be going back and forward like that. It will not adhere to the hook. Always the one way, always the one direction. Get a nice tight turn to the tail, and then you can tighten up again, and then just run your thread up the first part of the body, and then going forward, just sweep it back, get a couple of turns of thread in front, and you can bring up your rib, and you're looking 3 turns onto the rear body. To there, follow it around, 1 turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure, come in, trim away the excess. The mid hackle, this is just a bright yellow Chinese cock hackle. Take one of those off, just stroke the fibres back to reveal the tip. After the tip, up to the hook, 1 turn to hold, another turn to secure. Now, you could just come in and clip that, your tip away, that's that tied in. We want to make it more secure, just fold back the tip, bring your thread turns back up over the tip and the hackle, come in, break it away. Then I'll just come in with my scissors and just stroke the fibres back. 2 or 3 turns will hold most materials. You don't need to be going crazy with turns of thread. On your flies, you're just creating bulk. Now, I'm going to get 3 turns in, because that's what I like to do. You put on as many turns as you like, if you're going to tie the wee fly. Up to there, follow it around with my thread, get a nice turn in the hold. Nice secure in turns now. What I want to do here is, I'm going to strip this away. I've been doing this since the start of tying flies. Always stripping the hackle away on the stem, nice and tight, then you can break that off. That's really tied in, that center hackle's tied in, so this fly should last a few fish. Now we're just going to come in with our black. We'll change over to Uni 3881 black, because the front body's black. We'll just change over at this stage. Just going to come in, trim away both the white and the waist tag of the black. Now on the way down again, we'll catch in our oval silver tinsel. Same oval silver tinsel I've been using the whole way up. Catch it in underneath. Then we want to come down tight up against the mid hackle. So just come in, hold everything back. Get right tight up against that mid hackle. Now we're just going to get some black dubbing. Just black seals fur. Just going to get it out of the dispenser box here. I should have had this all ready, but before I just come out, wasn't planning on filming any flies today, but I just thought I haven't showed you this fly yet, so just double on that. Just be patient, always take your dubbing the one way. You're no rush to tie a fly. Now run anything that's going forward, just sweep it back, a couple of turns in front again, and then you can come up with your rib. You're looking 3 turns again onto the body, onto the front part of the body. Follow it around with your thread, 1 turn in to hold, and then a couple of turns will secure that in. Come in, trim away the excess. Now the front hackle, just a silver bodger hackle. Now I'm not looking for a large one here, I'm just looking at a wee small one. Now the tip of that's broke, see the tip of that? But you can still use that, don't throw that out, that's still usable. Just come down another wee bit on the stem, offer up the hook, 1 turn to hold, another turn to secure, fold back your tip of your hackle, bring your thread up over the top of the tip and the hackle, come in, you can break away the tip, and then you can come in and stroke back the stems, or the barbs, sorry, on the stem of the hackle, and then just do 1 turn in front of the other. And I'm going to put 2 turns onto the bodger. I think to try and keep the old bodger to the minimum. To there, follow it around with my thread. Couple of nice tight turns in here now to secure it in. I just want to check, see the thickness of that stem. I was going to fold it back, but it's too thick. So just come in with your scissors, take the stem away. If it's too thick, don't be folding it back, because your thread will just slip down with the thickness and you'll just create bulk at the head. Right, we're just going to get our thread into position here, because we're going to lash on a couple of jungle cock eyes. So we just want to get our thread up to where we need to be. I have 2 eyes here on my desk from another fly I was tying yesterday. So 2 eyes there. Now, I don't strip this away because this here provides grip. I'm just moving them, the rubbish on the feathers just down out of my way. Now, I'm just going to come in and offer them up to the hook. And just use the eye to split them, and then come around, just gently hold them onto the hook. I'm going to take a couple of thread turns just to hold them in position. Right, this one here is too long, so you're going to have to pull that in. Just going to have a wee check when theirs moved down on me. Just take your time. You're no rush. It's not a race. Once you're happy, come in and tighten up onto the jungle cock. Then you can fold back the stems if you wish. If you don't like to fold back your stems, you can just cut these off at this point. But if you can get into the habit of folding your stems back, the fly will last longer and the jungle cock will last longer. It just means that they can't break off, or they can't pull out, sorry. They have to, the feather will have to break off now. Keeping your thread tight, just come in, break away the stems, and then just come in with your whip finishing tool. And just when I whip finish now, I'm just tidying the head up here. Just notice the wee fibre. I want to trap it down. Pull your thread tight. Come in, trim away. Now, first coat on the head. You don't have to do this either. This is just super glue. Now, I don't use super glue too often. It's just really on head areas when I'm working at the top of the fly. And then once that's dry, I'll come in and put on a couple of coats of varnish just to seal the super glue up, because you don't want that white moisture bloom. But there you go, guys. That's the lemon shrimp, or otherwise known sometimes as the yellow shrimp. So listen, tie a few of them up. It's a good fly to have in your box, even in a size 12 on the top dropper, and hopefully I can catch you a few fish. Thanks for watching.